But the short story, for those that don't know the financial system, incredible scam. Money has been allocated to those at the top of the pyramid. Those people are the ones that are allowed to print the money. In America, it's the Federal Reserve. Here, it's the Bank of England and the European central banks. These fraudsters are allowed to print money out of thin air, backed by nothing. Backed by nothing. And they were given that power by our corrupt, greedy, pathetic so-called leaders, whether they're prime ministers or politicians, all of them traitors with the rarest of exceptions. They have given the power on behalf of us, who they supposedly speak for these tyrants to be able to print the money. They then loan the money. They then loan the money to the banks at interest. At interest. We pay interest to people who print money, which we could print ourselves debt-free. And yet we allow them to do this. So they print the money, and then they loan it to the banks at which we own the interest. And they've had this fraudulent system in existence for many, many hundreds of years now. And this system is inherently debt-driven. The point of it is to indebt us, so that we have to pay more and more taxes to pay off a debt that can't possibly be paid off. Because the amount of debt that is created from the money that is printed, there is not enough money in circulation to pay off the debt. So there will always be debt. There is no way to balance the budget. We will always be in debt. So while we're having these so-called austerity measures being played out in front of us, while education is becoming far too expensive for most working class people to be able to send their kids off to university, while our social services are being cut, systems are being privatized, and you're wondering how you're going to keep a roof over your head or a job and put food on the table for your family, we are paying debt. To who? This is the one question. The one question when they talk about the debt and the need to cut social services and increase your taxes, why are we doing that? Because we're in debt. To who? Who do we owe the money to exactly? Do we ever think about that? Who do we owe the money to? I'll tell you who we owe the money to. The Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the filthy rich banksters that are running this system, that our corrupt prostitute politicians gave the power to these tyrants to do. You all have not worked hard enough. None of you have worked hard enough. None of you working class people out there have worked hard enough. You haven't worked hard enough, and you owe the Rothschilds money. And they're taking away your social services, and they're telling you you need to go fight a war. In Iran now. In Syria. And what do they do with the war? They make money off of us, again. And they send our sons and daughters off to war, to kill innocent people, to rape them, to steal their land. And all the while, with hypocrisy doesn't even begin to explain us talking about freedom and democracy. It is a joke, and it mocks all of us. And the head of the snake is the financial system. And Henry Ford rightly said, it's a good thing that people don't understand the financial system, because if they did, there will probably be a revolution by the morning. And it's true. We owe money to the filthy rich. That's who we're in debt to. They could say, we're going to wipe the debt clean. For me, that wouldn't be enough. Are you kidding me? You think you're going to get off that easy? For hundreds of years, you've been enslaving the people in your debt-driven system. And you think that you're just going to be able to wipe the slate clean and that's going to be it? Hell no. If you don't hang from a lamppost, you should consider yourself lucky for the scam that you have perpetrated on the people. And the thing is that they've got us all by this system. They control the money. It's not even paper to them. They don't even need to print the money. They can simply go into a computer, type in a couple extra zeros in an account, and someone has got money.
Ricardo, I think I can grab a quick chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're here leading a march. You've left the Russian consulate. Tell us, why are you leading this march? What are you here for?
Well, a few reasons. The Russians are fighting the Khazarian mafia in their homeland. They're cutting the head off the snake of the group that has been destroying this planet for generations.
What does that have to do with Australia today, here and now?
Because they control this country like they control everywhere else, and the Russians, along with many other nations and many other militaries, are actually fighting a subterranean war to exterminate vermin from the planet.
How does that relate to the anti-mandate message that so many are speaking about today?
Because the mandates in COVID are just one part of a larger scheme to depopulate the planet. We have been robbed, we have been raped, we have been killed for generations. And the mandate, directed by the government, and enforced by the police and provided for by the big pharma have been exterminating the people. It's all part of the same plan.
Many of your former colleagues, previously of the Auscons and many others, don't share the same views that you're speaking about today. In fact, they decry them and condemn them. Does that make you think twice about the path that you're on?
No, if they could read and write, took their heads out of their backsides, they would see for themselves. As we have said from the very beginning, do your own research, folks. As I've said many times, don't trust me. Make up your own mind. But read your own work.
Do you really think these messages have enough broad appeal in order to win a seat to try and achieve some change?
Oh, you betcha. Are you kidding? The four majors, and you can throw Palmer's fifth party in that as well, the fetid carcasses are falling apart and they know it. It's all coming down. These people are fast asleep. They have injected themselves and their kids and they're going to be crying. These are the ones that wanted us jailed. And we always said it's a free choice. They wanted us jailed, they wanted us in concentration camps, they wanted our rights removed from us. Yet here we are, hoping that we are wrong. I would be more than happy. I would be ecstatic to be proven absolutely wrong, because what it means is the people aren't dying. But guess what? To go from what, 50,000, 60,000 live births to 5, and they can't figure out why? Ladies and gentlemen of Australia, ladies and gentlemen of the world, look at the data for yourselves. And if you can't work it out, it's on you. But we are happy to be wrong, but guess what? We're right.
Last one, what are your plans next? What are you doing next? What's next after this?
Well, we get into Parliament and then we provide evidence of crime committed by the polity, the judiciary, the bureaucracy and the constabulary. The whole purpose of this campaign is to get in, reveal evidence of crime, and we've given ourselves 6 months to do it. And in 6 months, we'll be in a position to show so much evidence of crime the people of New South Wales will stand up and demand the electoral system be cleaned up and a free and fair election be held so we can actually get back to governing ourselves.
Thanks for your time, Ricardo.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name's John Wilson. I'm the former president of the Trades Hall Council in Canberra, and I'm here to fully endorse Ricardo Bosi and David Graham in their quest to be elected for the New South Wales Upper House in the forthcoming general election in New South Wales in the next few weeks. Both these guys are cookers, but they're our cookers, and we need our cookers inside of the parliamentary kitchen. You understand me? Now, Dave Graham, wild boy. Ricardo Bosi, he's an officer and a gentleman. Now, Ricardo Bosi will, he'll grab the parliamentary chickens by their scrawny chicken necks and he will make them squeal like a fax machine. That's what he'll do. David Graham, guru, he's a different proposition. David Graham, mate, is a concreter from Wollongong, and you can't stop him. You cannot stop him. Dave Graham drives me mad. Now, if he drives me mad, he's going to drive New South Wales Parliament and the New South Wales deep state insane. Yes, he will. We need our cookers inside of the parliamentary kitchen. Dave Graham will let the gas run for a few days inside of their kitchen and walk up and light a smoke. And guess where he'll throw the match? Right inside their kitchen. They won't know what hit them. Now, you can't stop concreters. We had a saying inside of the unions when I was the State Secretary of the CFMEU, the only way to stop a Wollongong concreter was to hit him in the head with a swinging crane hook. That's how tough these blokes are. We need him in, okay? Dave Graham, Ricardo Bosi, New South Wales Upper House. If you can't provide lots of hours, then open your doors and welcome, host some visitors from Queensland, from Victoria, from South Australia who will come interstate if they can find somewhere to stay, and they will volunteer. They will put the arms and legs in. Email, phone, everyone. If you're out of state, phone people in New South Wales who you know and make sure that they know who Ricardo Bosi is and who David Graham is. Promote them, okay? We need to get these two cookers in because they're our cookers. You got me? They're not the pissants cookers. They're the freedom movement's cookers. They're ours. Thank you.